Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, the head coach of the Evergreen Park Mustang football team, Coach Jim Ramazinski. Coach Ram, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. You've had a rough couple of weeks. The season has not been kind the last few. You had 2 home games, 2 losses. What happened?
Well, we came out there first series on defense. We had game plans set. We did the same thing we did the past couple of weeks. We give up a touchdown in the first series, and then defense really, truly settles in again. And, that's something that we've talked about, something we're trying to address at practice. We had a tough time getting the ball moving. We ended up giving up a touchdown later in the game again to put it at 21. The final was 21-6. So
you had a couple touchdowns that kind of got called back too, right? I mean, like you had a few things that happened that.
Yeah, we did. We had two holding penalties on the day, and unfortunately, they were both on pretty long touchdowns. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's sort of bad luck, but it's also like we say all the time, it's on us. We're not executing the way we should. But it is extremely frustrating when it's a touchdown that gets called back. I was happy, with the effort at the end. There was no quit. It was a 1-score game till the very end, and then Eisenhower scored very late in the game with about 2 minutes left. So, we were right there. Couple things didn't go our way. Defense played pretty well. Got a defensive touchdown. Some nice performers on defense, and we're just looking to move forward. We got a game Thursday night and try and get a win.
We've talked about it before a couple times. I've touched on this show. You've talked about it that this past off season, you have 6 guys get scholarships, move on to the next level. I mean, Evergreen Park football does produce good players that move up to the next level, and and are playing at the next level. But what that does is that means you have younger kids in positions, and then even though you have some really good upperclassmen, you're missing one of your best in David Johnson, your running back this week. So now you have somebody else who's younger that fills in. Is that part of the problem right now?
Well, losing David for the game is tough for us. He's, like I said before, he's kind of the heart and soul of our team, and I know how bad he wanted to be out there playing.
It's homecoming.
Yeah,
he wanted to be out there for sure.
He definitely wanted to be out there. So I was pretty upset for him. But like I say, I've said this before on this, and we'll say it. Every football coach will say this across the United States. That's football. It's part of the game. It's unfortunate that he wasn't out there. We had guys fill in for him. They did a good job. But we are playing a lot of younger guys, and it's promising to see them making some plays out there.
Before we get into what's coming up, I can't let you go without asking you about the overall experience of homecoming this year, because I know they did the Fan Fest and that was something new. I know it felt like it was going to be bigger. I know that the game is what means the most to you and the players, right? But there was a lot of different events throughout the weekend. Overall, how did you feel about the weekend?
I thought the weekend went well outside of us, Friday night. I wish we would have obviously came out with a win, but from what I hear, the Fan Fest was great. We were kind of still inside the building for the most part, our team. I heard it was great. My family was up there. There was a lot of families up there. The pep rally was great on Friday. We had the news there Friday morning. That was fun. And I know the dance, talking to some of the students, they had a great time.
I mean, everything looked good. I saw it on social media. I saw dance pictures and homecoming parade pictures and pep rally pictures. I mean, the school, I'll give a quick shout out to Tim Moran over there, who I know handles a lot of the stuff that goes out to the public. And I've known Tim for years, back when he was writing for The Patch. Mm-hmm. And they really pump out very well all the different things that are going on. So if you miss something, if you're just following them on social media, you really kind of get the feeling of what was happening. And I saw nothing but smiling faces, so I know it was a big weekend for the school overall.
Yeah, no, I mean, homecoming is always a ton of fun. Yeah. We had fun. I was glad to see that, the students' enthusiasm, pep rally, like we talked about, the Fan Fest seemed to be a huge success. The dance went off great, so we were happy to have a small part in the week. And like I said, I know the news was there Friday morning. The kids got a kick out of that. The cheerleaders, the band, the football team, the dance team, everybody that was involved in it. So it was a good homecoming experience. We had the parade on Thursday. That was a ton of fun. And yeah, as a football team, we're definitely going to be hard on ourselves for taking a loss. But like I said before, at the same time, they're high school kids. We want them to have a good experience and not just football and everything. And we're happy that our school has a ton to offer our students.
You're in your second year on the mic sitting with me when we're doing these recaps and looking forward to the next week. So I'm curious, just for my own sake, pep rally, I'm assuming some people grab the microphone. I'm assuming the head coach at least gets it offered. Are you jumping on the mic? Do you prepare? Are you ad-libbing? Like, what happens at the pep rally with you?
I talked the year before. This year, I did not. They jam a lot in there in that time, man.
It doesn't seem like you would care. Like, oh, I'm not going to talk? Cool. Like,
there was, no, they got a whole, they get their 45-minute window, and it was pretty filled the whole time with competitions among students, competition between teachers and students, announcing the homecoming court, introducing those teams. So it was a nice experience. It was good. It was a beautiful day out there at the time. We were outside on the field, and yeah, it was a good pep rally.
All right, so let's look ahead. And I'm going to do the thing that you hate and just look at what's left real quick, and then we'll focus on who you're running into. But you got 3 road games to figure out to finish out your regular season. Mm-hmm. It's 4-2 Reavis, 5-1 Richards, and 3-3 Argo. At this point, to get to 5 wins, which gives you an outside chance at a postseason, you'd have to beat all 3 of them on the road. So does anything change right now with a 2-4 record? Is it still one game at a time? Let's win this one. Don't worry about the rest of it. Like, how do you approach this end of your season?
Well, if anything, now with your back against the wall a little bit, it's definitely even more one game at a time because you need all of them. We had a Thursday night matchup with Reavis. They're 4-2. They got a nice team. They're well coached. We're excited to take them on. As you mentioned, it's on the road. Thursday night games are a little bit different. Each team in our conference usually plays one a year. This is our week to do it.
Yeah, it annoys me. It screws up my whole football Friday thing.
Yeah.
They're just throwing off the entire schedule here at the podcast.
Yeah, it's a different practice week too.
Right.
You lose a day of prep.
Why do they do it? Why do they do it midweek?
Referee shortage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is the big reason.
Because you sit there and you think, like, I get why the NFL does it, right? Like, they want football on every day because it gets more eyes on the product, and that makes sense. But I mean, you got kids going to school the next day, and it's a night game on a Thursday, so that's why it was surprising to me. But if it's a ref shortage, I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's something that is being addressed. We're not the only conference that does it. Some other conferences do it as well. But yeah, that is the reason.
Interesting. Okay, so what do we expect from Reavis? Like, what are you preparing for with this team? Again, they're a winning record. You're going to run into winning records possibly for the rest of the run here. So we got some good competition out there. What are they all about?
They're power football. They try and really kind of run the ball at you, then hit you with some play action. They got some nice athletes. Their defense is aggressive. Some big guys on their team. But again, if we throw the records aside and just kind of look at it, we're excited for just another opportunity to play a game. We would like to obviously go out there and perform better than we have been, and that's how we have to look at it. This is another opportunity to get ourselves back in the winning side of things and have ourselves a good Thursday night.
Well, it's interesting too because as I think about your season up to this point, there's a couple of losses in this that could have gone the other way. Yeah, it feels that way. So is that bad luck? Like, I hate saying that, but is that bad luck? Is that just the way that football goes sometimes? Is that a bad bounce, or is it more stuff that you go, we need to correct some things?
I mean, we've had some bad bounces, some bad luck, whatever you want to call it. But like at the end of the day, when you lose a game, it's on us. It's on us as coaches, our players. We take the responsibility because that's the only way you're going to get better is if you don't blame others. And yes, we've had some unfortunate calls, some unfortunate things happened to us, some unfortunate turnovers, a lot of close games. I could think of 3 that could have went the other way for sure, but they didn't. And again, we got to keep moving forward. We have to work on getting better. I was still happy with effort from, the team as far as
I noticed
finishing the game.
You brought that up. Finishing the game meant an awful lot too. And, that stood out to me, you saying it, and now you bringing it back up again, because part of me feels like at this level, I mean, you're high school kids, it's got to be something that you've seen in your career where you'll see a team go, not again, this isn't working out. And then you see the shoulders slump. I mean, they're not professional athletes getting paid a ton of money. So I think that says something about the character of the team, that going through this last couple game stretch and what was happening, at that end of that game, they didn't give in.
No, they did not. I mean, effort was high. I mean, we had some good individual performances out there as well. Like I mentioned before, I think defense had a pretty solid night overall. Arshawn Powell had an interception. Caleb Kaiser, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Garrett Kazmirich, who's a sophomore, forced that fumble. He had 3 tackles for losses. Gavin Wheeler, sophomore linebacker, a couple nice big tackle for losses. Genesis Ward, Lawrence Somerville, Anthony Luna, all getting in the backfield, making some negative plays on defense. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough that night. And, like I've said before, we got to start faster, and we got to, be more locked in at the start of the game.
All right. Evergreen Park Mustangs going to try to start fast on a Thursday night, because this week comes up very fast with the game happening a day earlier, 7 p.m. at Reavis. If you get the opportunity to travel, go out and support the Mustangs. They still got some time left in this season. They can still do some good things, and you got a team there that is not giving in or giving up, and that's, I think, one thing that the school should be pretty proud of.
Yeah, I mean, the record is the record. Effort is there. We're going to continue to push our guys, and like I said, you're not going to win every night, but I said this last week, and I truly believe this. We want them to walk out of this program understanding what it takes to win in life. And we're going to continue to send that message to them until they don't want to hear it. But that's what we want to do, and we're looking forward to Thursday night.
It's the EP Podcast, all things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast, Evergreen Park.